MLS is gonna have to be the vehicle to get them there. Look how long it took us to develop one Christian Pulisic, and he didn't even go through the MLS. He went through like the AYSO. So, let's hope that in the next decade we'll be able to develop 3 or 4 Pulisic type players from the MLS.
I'd like that because there's no shame in like say having a Dempsey who starts in MLS and goes on and does whatever, and then having a Christian Roldan and a Jordan Morris who hang out in the league and are big fixtures and big personalities in this league. There's nothing wrong with all that, and then there's nothing wrong with bringing guys closer to retirement over if you also supplement it with young like talent you're trying to sell. Like it's okay to be the hodgepodge.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think that one day, someday, MLS clubs will be able to actually compete with European clubs. I would like to see that.
They already can, but like you're talking about the big boys. You mean
I'm talking about
tier
like
1 league teams. Like
I'm talking about that one day we might get to see freaking Kansas City, or some random ass team like Nashville beat Real Madrid on some freaking cash grab tournament that FIFA makes out. I'm just saying that.
I mean that kind of thing is starting right now, and nobody's happy about it.
Unless it's like a super league, that's the only way it would happen.
Yep. I mean that's not completely out of the realm of possibility. By the way, that like everybody just looked at the European Super League and never thought maybe Arsenal is going to be like, okay, why don't New York? Why don't you join?
That's the thing. Imagine like this PSG team that won like the Champions League. Imagine they had like another one-off game against some random MLS team or the North American champion or whatever.
Yeah, the North American, whether it be Club America or Minnesota United.
And then what happens? And then it'll be funny as hell if Minnesota United beats them, in Minnesota or in Italy. I don't, or not Italy, but France or whatever.
That's kind of what they're trying to do with the Club World Cup that's going on right now, and nobody's fucking happy about it. The players aren't getting paid but peanuts, apparently.
I wouldn't even mind seeing like some sort of. It would have been a more meaningful tournament if you involved clubs from South America. Like imagine a River Plate game versus, New York Red Bulls or Chicago Fire versus Sao Paulo.
Famously, the only thing I support segregated is continental conferences. I don't want to lose CONCACAF to have.
No, I know. I get that.
Blob.
And I don't want to lose that either. But it would be nice to see how good we measure against Europe.
Well, we don't yet. I mean, it's just literal dollars and cents. How well does let's be real. You have your remember that Serginho Dest Ajax team. You have your surprises here and there, but dollar and cents can Hearts, can PSV really compete with the Real Madrids and the Barcelona's? They can maybe beat them here and there in the knockout rounds, but they can't
like a Cinderella story type mode.
Yeah, but not in a league. They couldn't keep up in the league. I mean, I don't know, but the Club World Cup thing is stupid. James, tell me you're not the guy who's like gung ho about the Club World Cup.
I don't care. It's not a real thing.
I agree. It is not a real thing.
I don't. There's some things there's some things where to me it's just like it's not a real thing. And you know what? The Gold Cup is included in that. Like it's not a real thing. The real thing is a league, a league's cup,
the Nations League.
Like some sort of for England, like they have their cup system.
Like FA Cup,
like the U.S. Open Cup,
the U.S. Open Cup. I think those are legitimate. And then national team wise, there's the Euro type tournaments. Those ones are legitimate, and of course the World Cup.
So
everything else is just a cash grab.
What has happened to my beautiful football?
wasn't the World Cup club used to be like the champion of each continent, like the champion of
No, oh yes, actually, I take that back. You are 1000%. It was
yeah,
only a
like
6-team tournament.
yeah, like it was actually meaningful because like the champion of CONCACAF will face off against Oceania champion, CAF champion, you know,
Yeah,
uh,
because the South American and
Commonwealth.
the European champion would get the bye, and then you have like Oceania, Asia,
Yeah, you had like
Africa
some
battle
team from
out.
Japan or something like that, or
Or yeah.
Korea, which was cool. That was a cool concept. But now, obviously, with everything that's going on, now it feels like a cash grab. Like, it's you literally made a tournament just to involve Messi's team somehow. So
Right. Well, I don't know, gentlemen.
Paris shirts, but like I mean, look at the list of clubs here: PSG, Bayern Munich, Man City, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Inter, Juventus. That's some fun stuff. Salzburg, Benfica, Fluminense, Porto, Inter Miami, Borussia Dortmund, Al Hilal, LAFC, Monterrey, Flamengo, Urawa Red Diamonds, Mamelodi Sundowns FC, Botafogo, Seattle Sounders, Palmeiras, River Plate,
River
Plate,
Plate.
bro. It's River Plate, bro. Just say River Plate.
River Plate, Boca Juniors, Pachuca, and Al Ahly. Oh wait, there's more. Auckland City, Esperance de Tunis, Wydad Casablanca, Ulsan HDFC, and Al Ain.
That is like the most random like tier. Like, yeah, I mean, I recognize when I recognize the cities of some of those clubs, but
all right, there's so many teams in this. I actually might be on board now. Like, this is such a abomination. I might now be on board.
It'll be funny if you see like Al Ahly beat up like River Plate. That's how can you get over that? Something like that, man.
After reading off this list of names, I must say I went from I don't give a flying fuck to like, okay, maybe I'll take a peek.
Yeah, he's gonna cheer for Urawa Red Diamonds. I can see James rocking that.
Yeah, I might cheer for his little Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, my beloved
hell
Sounders.
No, hell no, man. You and your Jordan Morris crush, bro.
Let's see.
No, it's not just
who would you cheer for, boys? I'm gonna scroll up here. Pick out a couple teams you'd cheer for. Sounders.
Hey, DPG, are you a River Plate or a Boca Juniors guy?
I really don't give a shit about it.
Borussia Dortmund.
Like I told you how I feel. Like if you were to ask me, if you were to ask me on a Monday, I might say River Plate. Then you ask me on a Tuesday, I might say Boca. Like it just depends how I feel. I really don't give a shit of any of those teams. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of history behind those teams, and by all means, those teams are I respect the shit out of them. But it's not a team that I'm not gonna run to my TV and turn on like Argentine first division matches.
I wonder what this is even on. If this is on something I can watch, I'm doing it, and I'm going ham for Inter Miami because here's the memes and the lulls.
Yes.
When is this tournament kicking off?
Probably
June 14th.
No, and like the thing is, like, are these teams even gonna bring the full squads? Like.
I mean, as much as some of them can, I'm sure some of them are gonna. Like, I mean, Manchester United's there. I'm sure KDB ain't going.
So yeah, he's gonna be freaking moving his shit to Napoli.
Oh man. Okay, so this is gonna be actually an abomination that now I need to be all in. Oh man.